What's happening, everybody? Trey here, and today reactions to the classics. Gonna be reacting to a group I'm not familiar with, and those are some of my favorite videos to make, man, to really dive into a group's work for the first time. We're gonna be looking at the Redwalls and their second record, De Nova, and I want to shout out our longtime patron and friend of the channel, Craig, for suggesting this one for us to listen to today. I'm looking forward to it, and without further ado, let's just dive into the quick facts of this record and a little bit about the group themselves. If you're like me and don't know much about them, they were an American rock band from Deerfield, Illinois in suburban Chicago, and composed of lead singer and guitarist Logan Barron. You have bassist Justin Barron, you have lead guitarist Andrew Langer, and then you had a lot of different drummers that came in and out of the group. And on this record we have Ben Greeno, and so that is who is on drums here. They only had 3 records, so we're getting the one that came right into the middle. This was released in June of 2005, actually on Capitol Records, so big label right there. They were dropped from Capitol before the release of their 3rd record. This was produced by a name that might be familiar to some of you. We have Rob Schnapf. I always have to take a breath before I say his last name, man. Not the most common last name, but you might remember him from Elliott Smith, some of his records. He also worked with The Vines. De Nova was the first album they released on Capitol since initially signing with the label in 2003. So we got 13 tracks here today, y'all, and about 49 minutes or so. I'm gonna, as always, have the lyrics pulled up, and there's really not much in the way of research on any of these tunes, just since they're, I guess not the most popular band, man. But I'm looking forward to just diving in and discovering it for ourselves here, man. So thank you again to Craig. I will try to upload this in full. If it gets copywritten though on YouTube, there will be a link to Vimeo where you can check out the full video uncut. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start this record off with Robinson Crusoe. I'm already digging the name right here. Don't know what to expect at all in sound, so let's just dive into this. So thanks again to Craig. Let's get it. All right, Robinson Crusoe bringing it, man. First introduction to the Redwalls here, and obviously the opener to this record has a great energy. That horn section as well, just a bit uplifting at points, even though the lyrics aren't so uplifting as you dive into them. So works well as an opener, and it's got me intrigued for the rest of this record, man. Looking at the lyricism a little bit, we kind of start off talking about a trip, because the place to the east is better than where he's been. But then we kind of switch gears. He must be lying. What a fool to think that now it's all right. How did you play it? And are you low thinking it, babe? Because this is how it's going to feel when you're going down. Then we get introduced to the title character, a man of the world, Robinson Crusoe here. He must have known what living is for. And then we get probably my favorite line in the whole song. Drinking rum on a dead man's chest. He leaves it up to the devil, and the devil will do the rest. So I don't want to cross paths with Robinson Crusoe here. And we kind of continue to build on that theme. I really enjoyed the guitar solo and instrumental section we had in the middle of this track. It showed off that musicianship that the Redwalls, I guess, have, man. I was impressed with it. And then as we finish out the song, he notes that he fought hard for her. He's going to keep trying it to find some way to break your heart, and all your dreams will fall apart. So, a little disconnect for this guy here, it seems, in relationships and just in life in general, man. So all in all, man, a great way, I think, to start this album. And next, we're going to go to the track Falling Down. So let's hear what we got here. All right, Falling Down, our second track here, and Redwalls taking aim at the FCC, which, if you don't know, here in the States is the Federal Communications Commission. I believe that's what the acronym stands for. Essentially, they regulate kind of the TV and radio airwaves and censorship, essentially. And I really enjoyed what Logan had to say about this, because I've always found it a bit bit comical as well, especially here in America, how we get so up in arms about language if an F-bomb is dropped or this or that, and yet you can look even on network television and you can have some very violent type of stuff. It seems the American culture is more okay with seeing people getting shot up and murdered and taken out as opposed to what a four-letter word is. So you have Logan attacking that in a very kind of relaxed vocal delivery, though, which I thought was a bit interesting, since he was so fiery in what the words had to say themselves. You had almost a jangly pop-like guitar lead at times from Andrew, and I thought he really, I'm really digging his guitar leads. I know we're only 2 tracks in here, but just some of the lyrics, you better watch what you say, watch them take your effing rights away. And even me, man, I can't curse on here, man, because YouTube, they don't like the F-bombs being dropped, man. You do it too much, you'll get demonetized. So yet again, showing that censorship up in here. He says, just a shame, just a drag, just the USA, more concerned about the things we say and the lies they tell. I'll tell you what's unjust, what the F they've been telling us. So, some fiery, impassioned lines there that I resonated with and agreed with, man. So next up, we got Thank You, which on the surface seems like it's going to be a total opposite from Falling Down. Right, Thank You, bringing it, man. Very rich instrumentally here. Not only did you have the saxophones making an appearance again, just like they did on the opener, but we had a bit of an organ underneath there as well, which just made the song pretty full sounding. And lyrically, man, pretty straightforward, to the point. This guy, man, he notes, I've lived a lonely lifetime, all because I never had a girl like you to hold me tight. And then we get to switch that here, now that he's fallen in love. I don't know if he's in those early stages of love where, the heart's a pattern and the other person can do no wrong. He notes, since you came around and showed your way to me, I'm beginning to think that I'll never be blue anymore. He notes that, oh, you are my brightest day. When he came, he chased my blues away. Obviously, the love outpouring for his significant other right here, man. And I think that using the saxophones here really was a wise choice to kind of fit the lyricism, man. Don't have too much more to say about it, man. Just a very easy to listen tune that I enjoyed as well. So digging the sound through 3 tracks here, and we're gonna see if we keep the love themes going with the track Love Her. Right, Love Her, bringing it up next. Is this the same girl from Thank You? I'll let you decide here. Starting off saying that him and his girl, she sang me a song and took me off the bed. But here's where the twist comes in. And when I said to her, tomorrow, girl, I just can't say, but don't be sad now, my darling, I'll be back someday. I guess love has taken its toll. So I'm feeling that they've been together a while, and he's hitting the road. I don't know, a little long distance action, or he's just kind of tiring of this relationship. And then felt a bit of that old school 60s Mercy beat, Jerry and the Pacemakers, early Beatles on the chorus. Oh, I love her, especially in that vocal melody. Definitely seemed a bit of a Paul McCartney influence. Yes, I do. Oh, I love her, and it's true. And he says, I've been moving on, and it's true, I want you. So he knows he kind of at this crossroads, it seems, where he knows he's at a point in his life to move on, so to speak, and yet he still has feelings for this gal right here. And so I think the strength here was in that chorus for me, man. Yet again, all these tunes very easy on the ears here, pleasant melodies, and I think Love Her was no exception. And next up, we're going to Build a Bridge, one of the most streamed songs here on Spotify. So let's hear what we got. All right, Build a Bridge coming in here yet again. The organ quite prominent here, and I enjoyed how as it crescendoed up, the chorus would go and belt here. Kind of continuing on with our love theme, if you will, here. He notes that he kind of is reminiscent here of all the times and the love that they had and shared with each other. Oh, it has slipped away. Sometimes we lose the games we play. What can I say? And then we build up. Build a bridge to bring both sides together. Enjoy the harmonies there. Even though it's lyrically quite basic, on the surface, it works because it was very catchy, man, with that organ underneath it. Felt maybe a bit of a Stones influence on there, kind of Exile on Main Street era where they would employ, some of that organ work and have those very anthemic like choruses. It seems the Redwalls are well versed in their rock and roll history, man, and it's an influence on them, and I respect that. So next up, we're gonna go to Hung Up on the Way I'm Feeling. Maybe because he's been losing this girl, man. So let's see what we got here. All right, Hung Up on the Way I'm Feeling, man. As the title suggests, man, this guy's and I think we've all been there, man, where we kind of get stuck in a rut, can't get past it's something in our lives, man, and in our own heads, if you will, and that's what this guy is. And he says, I said, lean on my shoulder, but I told her as she walks away. Ain't that tough right there, man? And though I'm down, I pull it all away. And I said I'd like to be there, but I can't get back to where I'm feeling now. So you just continuing to run into these roadblocks, man, and it's affecting his real life relationships, not just himself. It's affecting others around him, man. Musically, a bit of a like hazy psychedelic feel to this track, keeping with the Beatles that I mentioned earlier. It's kind of reminded me of Sun King from Abbey Road, the famous medley there. At certain points, not only in the musicianship, but even in the way that Logan was delivering these lines. I'd be curious if that was an influence on this track, or I'm just reading too much into it. But and I like to kind of switch up, going from Build a Bridge, which is very anthemic and organ heavy, and now you switch to this, which totally different style. And we're gonna go up now to On My Way. Let's get it. All right, On My Way, bringing it, man. Again, a bit up-tempo. This one was just kind of middle of the road for me. Nothing really stood out for me, and lyrics seemed a bit more basic than some of the other tunes we've had on here. He notes here, quite simply, he kind of setting the stage with this person saying, I want to thank you, I want to shake you, I want to break through. Get the refrain, I'm on my way. He notes, and all these people there, all coming to you. I always thought that. I knew it was true. Oh, here she comes now, all dressed in red. Those were the days that I hoped we might be dead. So then I think later on he notes that we're gonna, kind of make up with it. It's gonna be okay. So I'm feeling again a relationship right here. His girl's in trouble, if you will, and he's on his way, I think, to help her out. That's kind of what I'm getting just up first. Listen, if you have a different interpretation, let me know. And I really don't have too much more to add to that track, man. And now we're gonna go to a song that was actually featured in the famous HBO show Entourage back in the day. We have It's Alright, one of the shorter tunes on here, just at 3 minutes. So let's hear what we got. It's alright, ladies and gentlemen. Again, an up-tempo rocker here. I think this was the best performance by Ben Greeno on the drum kit as well. Really felt that energy and kind of passion from him on that, which I think elevated the song a level here. Lyrically, man, getting the sense of a guy who knows, hey, I don't want to go to school, doesn't want to play by the rules anymore. He kind of just lives to get high, man, a true rock and roller, right? He says, well, I'm born and I die and I live to get high. And again, very simple chorus that still works well, man. It's all right. Yet again, the organ kind of coming back up, which I thought worked well with such an up-tempo track here. Added a bit of a different musical dimension than what you might expect with the guitar going fast and heavy, and just a nice pop rock song right here, man. I sometimes like these songs where you don't gotta sit down and dissect every single lyric to figure out what it's about, man. If it has a good rockin' sound, man, people will vibe to it, and I fall into that camp on that one. And now we're going to Front Page. We go from the shortest song on the record to now the longest, clocking in at about 6 minutes. So curious how the Redwalls are going to fill that time up. Are we going to get the saxophone again, organ? Let's see what we got. All right, Front Page, my favorite track up to this point, man. I really, really dug this. I thought that the first 30 seconds, utilizing kind of that front page news with the news report and the sirens blaring, talking about conflict in Israel, before we go into the vocals, which were treated. And I thought Logan took a big influence here from John Lennon. Felt or sounded very John Lennon-esque. Maybe that's just me, but I thought that worked so well with the song, and you had the bit of strings up in there popping at points too. So I thought that fit with the melancholy of the song and just the lyricism, talking about a woman holding up the bank. She lost her mind between the battle lines, and the telephone rings. A bell rung out as they talk about 16 kids gone in a schoolyard. The paper's red. She shakes her head. I've living here in America. That just makes me think of these mass school shootings that are just such a common occurrence nowadays that you just kind of almost become numb to it. You're like, oh, there's another one. I wonder when the next one will happen. Not a matter of if, but when. But that's a discussion for another day, ladies and gentlemen. And I think Logan really put that on the lyricism as well, noting how it just gets them down, seeing all this news. And what do you see on the front page? Very rarely it's going to be that positive news or breakthroughs in science or, oh, this is something good that happened. It's usually accidents, death, something shady that somebody did, a controversy. So I think too, as we jump ahead over 15 years in 2021 and how the media landscape has changed, and wanting to get clicks and being the most provocative with that front page as well. It's interesting to see how the media has evolved over time, and I think that chorus, "In the darkest night come the darkest days and the worst of ways," just gets to what the heart of the song was. So that'll definitely be amongst my favorites when we get to that at the end. But now we're going to go to how the story goes. All right, how the story goes, bringing it, man, a very relaxing atmosphere on this song. You had the reverb on Andrew's guitar work. Just let that breathe a little bit. And yet again, from front page to this song, Logan kept his Lennon vocal style delivery going, asking questions. Have you ever been to Harlem, Rhodes, Stalingrad? He even asked later. And he notes that I'm kind of getting the vibe this dude in the song is just like a free spirit, just going wherever the road takes him, essentially. He even notes, I'm not for anyone, but love is all around and it's for everyone. He kind of switches that up in the next verse, saying, I'll be on my way this time tomorrow, but know that all is free and up to you, my friend. Again, just encouraging, I think, people to go out and live their lives kind of how they want to, because we only got one life to live, ladies and gentlemen. And he just puts it out there saying, I don't care about you. I know it. If this is love, then why not show it? This is how the story goes. Yet again, just enjoyed the laid-back atmosphere that this song had. Another one that's very easy to listen to. And now we're going to go to Back Together. We got 3 songs left. I've been going pretty quick in my estimation, man. So let's get it. All right, Back Together, the anthem for reunions everywhere, I think. Again, lyrics pretty straightforward, man. He notes, and it's all up and down with the weather. We was glad to hear you're feeling so much better. Yeah, better late than never. Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the truth? Even whenever you're feeling down and out, and you kind of can finally break through, go out, see some buddies and friends or family, that just lifts the mood. And I definitely agree with that sentiment here, man. Keeping with the Beatles influence, I was especially in the verse, the first verse, little "All you need is love," Lennon-esque type of lyrics here. There's nothing you can do that isn't in your mind. There's nothing you can do but try. Nothing you can say that isn't what you said, and everything that you say is a lie. I mean, you read that, I just automatically was thinking of All You Need Is Love on that, man. And I enjoyed the burst of sound in the coda at the end there, and it finished off with some feedback on the guitar, and just kind of let it rip. And I enjoyed that. And yet again, another solid tune right there, as we have 2 songs left. We have Glory of War, ladies and gentlemen, before we're going to finish off with rock and roll. So let's get to it. All right, Glory of War here, a total left turn from any other track on this record. Obviously, a folk ballad coming through here. I enjoyed the lyricism, wasn't crazy about Logan's vocal delivery on this. Maybe it's just because I've, listened to the whole record with him against, these strong guitar leads and whatnot. Maybe that's just what you get on that first listen, since it's just so different from the rest. But that quibble aside, man, I enjoyed the lyrics here. Talking about just the war system, a topic that has been brought up for decades and decades, man, and seems to never change. He notes that if we hadn't sent them there to die, you'd be sure that we'd be doing it again. Let the Union stand alone to be it, while all alone my brothers singing, this is the glory of war. And then my favorite lines were, I guess some men be born to dying because living wasn't up to them. We're living just to kill each other. If we hadn't lost a generation, you'd be sure that we'd be losing one again. So one of the stronger tunes, I think, lyrically, but just vocals didn't quite work for me. But all in all, man, an interesting choice on their part too, to put this as the penultimate track. I respect artists that kind of branch out, push, and do something that is a bit different from what they normally do, man. So we're gonna finish this record off, y'all, with rock and roll coming in at just 2 minutes. So I misspoke earlier whenever I was saying It's Alright was the shortest track, but I think this is gonna live up to its name. I'm expecting an up-tempo rocker, and then afterwards I'll give my favorite tracks and overall score to this record. Right, rock and roll finishing this record off here, and it was true to its name. My hypothesis was correct, ladies and gentlemen. That 50s rock and roll style just bleeding through this track, and it was short, sweet, to the point, conjuring up images for me of the film American Graffiti. That 50s Friday night, the jukebox is playing, some drinks are flowing, people having a good time, dancing to the music, letting the guitar riff take you away, if you will, man. So a strong way to end the record off, I think, kind of encapsulates some of the energy that a lot of this album had. And speaking of which, it is now time for my favorite tracks. I'm going to go in the order they appear. I got Robinson Crusoe. I thought the opener just worked so well. Loved the implementation of the horns and that song in particular. Thank You was another one that hit well for me. And my favorite song on here is actually going to be Front Page. I thought it was the most creative tune in the way they spliced the news report in there, and just the way the instrumentation was so varied up. So that is going to be my favorites. And now to the overall score of the record. For me, man, this was a fun and easy listen. I like the fact that they take those influences from a lot of the 60s groups, it seems, especially some Beatles there, little Stones, a little kind of Mercy Beat, Jerry and the Pacemakers. Rock and roll had that 50s rock and roll sound to it. Some people might see that as derivative, and I just think, if you're gonna take some influence from somebody, why not take it from the greats here and just add a bit of your polish to that. And so easy listen for me. I thought it was a good record. Really enjoyed Andrew's guitar work. I thought that was kind of the highlight for me instrumentally. Loved the tracks where the horns came in. Almost wish that happened a little bit more, but that's just my personal preference. And some interesting storytelling on this. A couple of the tunes are a little basic, but it's made up for in its catchiness. And so all in all, man, good record right here, and a good on my scale. Is gonna land it in a 7 out of 10 for me. Interesting too that they only had one more record after this, and then just kind of went away from what I am understanding here. But shout out to Craig again for suggesting this. We did the Sam Roberts Band album reaction to one of their records, and also near Chicago. And so Chicago, man, a music scene that it was alive and well in those 2000s, that's for sure, man. Let me know what you think of the Redwalls in general and De Nova as a record. Be sure to give Craig some love for having them be able to be featured on the channel today. I enjoyed it, man. And if you'd like to have me react to a record that you would like or a song, you can check out our Patreon page, which is linked down below and will also be on the end screen as well as another video that you might enjoy. But all that to say, everyone, hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you.